Speaking of Linux sucks, the Linux sucks subreddit really likes my channel. I don't know why, but pretty much every day or every other day, there's something from my channel posted there.
At the same time I started getting into programming and computers and such, I started getting recommended to me videos related to these things. I started watching like certain people, and around this is around like 2022, maybe like late 2021, like early 2022. I started watching people like Mental Outlaw, Luke Smith, like those types of guys.
Wait, okay, this is gonna be a good one.
Luke Smith.
This is gonna be a good one. Jesus Christ. In case you're unaware what this is, that is Mental Outlaw's face on Luke Smith. Just so we're on the same page here.
Like those types of guys, and eventually I started learning about Linux and free and open source software, right? So guys, and eventually I started learning about Linux.
That is the DT video.
And free and open source software, right? Anyways,
like Mental Outlaw? Yeah, it's cool,
an
dude.
entire rabbit hole that I started digging into, and it became like an autistic obsession of mine.
I know that feeling.
This like free and open source software shit, and this whole like sort of ideology that surrounds free software and Linux and all these different things, right?
Have you seen the DT gun rights video where he pulls out 7 guns? Yes, I saw the video when it came out. It was so fun to look at how angry people were.
And I've been using Linux on my main machine. I've been using Linux on my laptop. On pretty much any computer I own and use on a regular basis, it runs Linux. Some flavor of Linux, right? And well, after about 3 years of you know, being a Linux user, right?
What a waste of your life.
Completely over it. Like I actually fucking despise this. I despise Debian. I despise Arch. I despise Gentoo. I despise all this shit, right? Like I'm just not really a big Linux fan anymore.
You know what? If you've used it for 3 years and come to that conclusion, I respect that. I respect that a lot more than people who say, "Oh, I used Linux once 5 years ago." This guy made an OS based on Azumanga Daioh. I'm assuming he's a big 4chan user then. I actually have never seen Azumanga Daioh. I don't know why I haven't.
But like the key, I guess the underlining principle you want to take away from this is that I still hate Linux a lot less than I hate Windows when I was using it, or Mac.
Actually fair.
Like, principle and how it's designed. And ever since I started hating Linux, I noticed there's a lot of people on the internet who really don't like it. In fact, there are people who have made entire operating systems partly based on just their absolute fucking disdain and hate for Linux. Or just like Unix shit in general, right? And it's not even like OS devs in particular who think they can do better, but it's also just like the users of these different alternative operating systems, like like, have you ever seen like someone who likes Plan 9 talk about Plan 9 a lot?
Yes, I have. These people are fucking insufferable.
Like at some point, they're probably gonna talk about how much they fucking despise Linux. Like that's half the reason they like Plan 9, or pretty much. For a lot of people, it's...
Or the BSD users. The BSD users are so fucking annoying. There's a guy on my channel who every day he's like, day X of telling Brodie to make an OpenBSD video. Keep counting, man. Keep fucking counting.
The big reason why they like whatever, or prefer whatever operating system, or really any specific tool of such complexity or scale of an operating system. You know, it's that they hate everything else so much that by a process of elimination, they have to prefer the thing that sucks the least. And when it comes to things that are, you know, large in scale and complexity, like an operating system or any other, you know, comparable piece of software or system that people use for some function or purpose and shit like that, right? Everything really does just, like, suck inherently, right? It's only a matter of like how much it sucks and in what ways.
Just stop using GNOME and you'll be fine.
I mean, pretty much any operating system you use is gonna.
What can you even do on a BSD system? Fuck if I know. What's wrong with BSD? There's nothing wrong with BSD. I just like to bully them.
A group of people constantly yelling about how much it sucks, how much it breaks all the time, how much it doesn't work. how much it crashes or how much.
Yeah, but
how
these
much-
people just have skill issues. That's the problem there. Wait, is the stream working fine? Okay, just my player had crashed. That's fine. That's weird. I don't know why that happened.
lack of support it has for a given task or a given application or developer or whatever the fuck, right?
What is this? I had seen it this here the entire time. What the hell is this background footage?
When you're designing something of that scale, right? And when you want to add some different functionality, when you want to add some different whatever the fuck, right? You have to make certain concessions.
This is such a fucking yapping video. Like, he's maybe said 5 words of actual value the entire video.
Or compromises in each and every single design decision, right? Each and every single decision you make about the design of whatever you're making, you're sacrificing.
I've actually never seen a That's an Arabic keyboard, isn't it? I've never actually seen how they do layouts. Huh. I don't know what any of the squiggly lines mean, but that's cool.
Decision you make about the design of whatever you're making, you're sacrificing something else at the expense of some new functionality or this different approach to this problem, you know, on how you accomplish this task or whatever, right? I mean, it's,
Sure, yeah.
It's the reason why anything that is made to be used by like millions of different people in terms of like software or whatever, right? Is going to have like serious.
I just noticed something. Why does he kind of sound like Moist Critical? Just listen to the like. There's just like a hint of Moist Critical in there.
It's the reason why anything that is made to be used by like millions of different people in terms of like software or whatever, right?
He does, yeah.
Is going
It's
to
not
have
just me.
like, serious issues when it comes to design philosophy with multiple
It's in
people working
my
on it.
it's
Or
in
when
my
it comes
list.
to some specific approach to resource management or how it handles errors. And there's always going to be like some egotistical retard who thinks he can do better by himself or with like some capital investment or some shit. And he always ends up making something that's either worse or the exact same thing as what he was originally criticizing.
Probably worse.
And the more I end up discovering all these different issues with Linux, all these different issues with its approach to how it handles, you know, the init process or how they handle whatever the fuck, right? I mean, you can apply this to the Linux kernel itself because
I don't even know what issue he's talking about here with the init process. I know people like to bitch about systemd, but I actually have no idea what he's complaining about here.
People have huge criticisms of Unix philosophy as a whole, or they believe that the Linux kernel or Linux software teams in general don't follow Unix philosophy anymore, or, I mean, you can take like
The Linux kernel never did. It never, ever did.
criticism of,
Also, the Unix philosophy is just does not apply to graphical applications at all.
you know, Linux in like a million different directions, right? But the more you break your Linux
What
distro,
is that
the
dude
more
doing?
you completely, the more you just do the most mundane things or try out new things you didn't try before. That should be very simple. They were simple on Windows, they were simple on Mac, but you try it out on Linux and all of a sudden it's a fucking problem. All of a sudden, right? The more you do these things, and the more you discover just how broken this shit is, the larger your appreciation gets for just how well this fucking macaroni painting of an operating system.
Do you know what this feels like? This feels like the blog post that Vaxry put out about the Cosmic Desktop. Where it's just like, this sucks, this fucking sucks, I hate it, this is awful. But like, barely saying anything.
Is able to somehow keep its glue together and not just completely fucking fold under
How
you
the
know,
fuck does that
slightest
work?
pressure, right? It's actually crazy how always under
What the? How the fuck does that work? I'm not an engineer, man. I don't know what I'm. Eh? Is that real? Wait, I don't even know if that's real. I've seen some weird engineering shit. I got no clue here.
you know, the slightest pressure, right? It's actually crazy how all these different people with all these different ways of writing and maintaining and implementing software are able to put all these different pieces together in such a way that makes something that actually works and is actually practical for your use case, right?
Uh-huh.
That is actually pretty fucking insane to me. And, once again, this isn't like a Linux hate video, right? I'm not trying
What
to...
do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? This is not a Linux hate video. What the fuck are you talking about? That's exactly what it
and
is.
shit all over the operating system that I use and still plan to use for the foreseeable future, right?
Sure.
But it just seems like a lot of these people who are very new to Linux or very new to free and open source software, or just people who are new to like certain things in software in general, seem to have this like, or even not even people who are new, but a lot of people seem to have this like ideological thinking when it comes to things that are essentially tools for making stuff or doing stuff on a computer.
I wonder what his opinion of Rust in the kernel is.
Right, I mean, these people's ideologies when it comes to how software should be written, or how it should be implemented, and what language to do so in, or what, you know, paradigm to do so in, or what operating system or platform to do it on and make it for, and how that platform should be designed itself, is completely driven, not even by just like, a lot of these people don't think in like terms of logic and how each and every single thing needs to apply to a certain use case, and the design decisions should be based around that specific use case. They base it off of their own individual ideology and how something should be perfectly designed in fucking La La Land. But that's just not how it works, like, pretty much 100% of the time, right? Because, I mean, you know, I still use Windows software, like, I still prefer using FL Studios for music production compared to LMMS or any, like, other alternative free and open source DAW out there, because those suck a lot more than FL Studios, in my opinion, right? For my individual use case and how I do things, I would rather run a Windows virtual machine with FL Studios than do something in LMMS.
I don't know anything about audio production
I
work.
actually tried that out like at 14 before I ever used FL Studios, and it was ass then. I retried it again and it's ass now, you know. I think my hatred for Linux is only gonna grow, to be honest. And, you know, up until a point where I just completely mentally snap and I come out with a new operating system or a new distro that's like my final solution to the Linux core. Okay, let's
not use that one. No, let's not do that.
I need to fucking.
What the fuck was that video? Why was that sent to me? Well, I guess that's a thing that exists.